It's about building authority for what you do because there's a lot of talented people out there.
You see this crown? Yeah, they calling me king now. They calling me king now. But this what I've been about.
Yes. And thank you so much for your time because I have some questions I wanted to ask you because I recently graduated from college
Mm-hmm.
last year, to be specific, and I've always been like passionate for music, right? I've always wanted to work in the music industry, but I don't know why I decided to choose a path of just business administration and marketing. And
Mm-hmm.
now that I recently graduated, I decided I wanted to specialize in in the music industry, in the music business. So I saw your profile and I really found interesting all your posts, and not only interesting but inspiring, and in a sense they motivated me to follow this path, as well as other creators, content creators. But for me, I just wanted to ask you, first of all, what inspired you to be involved or to dedicate your life to the music industry?
I've always just wanted to be in music and media, so um, that was what I focused on. So I went to college, and you know um, I went out there and I joined the Grammy U. I was around the Grammy Foundation and you know the association, and I met a lot of people, and I decided to go out to LA and go to the big conferences and learn, and that's pretty much how I got started. I just involved myself into the music industry. I did my own projects, and it just led on from one project to the next, one connection to the next, and that's the
Mm.
process right now. It's been a continual process.
Okay. I mean, that is brave to do because not everyone that's interested, right, and loves music and wants to be involved in this industry does that. I mean, it would have, I imagine that it has been maybe a bit difficult in the beginning to get into some project maybe, or how did you find it? How was to start in LA? Because that's the one of the main locations for for the music industry in the world.
Well, I never lived in LA, but I did go out
Ah,
there uh, occasionally, and I spent some time in LA. It's just really having an idea. Like for me, I'm big on being a self starter. You have to be self starting in the music industry because when you look at all these artists or anybody who puts on um,
mm,
anything, all these cool projects, it comes from an idea. So with these ideas, you have to be a self starter. Nobody's going to start is going to do these projects for you. If you want to be an artist,
mm,
you have to be a self starter. If you want to put on a concert, you have to be a self starter. It's all around. It all revolves around ideas, but most importantly, you have to execute, find the resources, and just put these things on. So that's basically what I do. You know, I that's how my career has been really. It's just
mm.
coming up with ideas and then self-starting.
I see. I understand. Yes, to be, we will say in Spanish, to have motivación, or to have this motivation, right? This drive to just begin, no, this path on or this way. I understand. But then, well, how would you, or what would you recommend for someone, for example, me or someone who was just starting their work life, or this after college life where you found yourself a little bit, like, what am I going to do now? How can I start? Or what skills can I develop first? How can I develop this whole image that I want to achieve before, or to get into this industry?
Well, I think first of all, you said you want to do marketing, right?
Yes, I would love that.
So we live in a world where content marketing is everything.
Mhm.
So start building content, become a content creator around the things that you want to do in the music industry. And then start talking about that. You know, you see me post on LinkedIn,
Mhm.
and that's where a lot of people want to reach out or communicate with me. I do it purposely,
Mhm.
besides just giving value, but it works. You know, it works because I've been able to create conversations. I've been able to, uh, spark interest where people might want to work with me, or might want to partner with me. We're having conversations because of that. So the main thing is to start a narrative. It's about building authority for what you do, because there's a lot of talented people out there, but a lot of
Mhm.
people also forget, or not necessarily forget, but a lot of people aren't known for what they do, except maybe for the few people that they're around. But you can sit on LinkedIn, you can build a following of 5,000, 10,000, or just a few thousand people, or a few hundred people, and they see that content every day, and they
Mhm.
say, oh, that's an interesting perspective. And and then people start reaching out to you, and that's how you start building a name for yourself. You can use you can use social media, or digital, to your advantage. So just like anybody wants to uh, do deals with anybody, like celebrities, for example. Everybody wants to work with a celebrity because of they have a brand. Same thing for professionals. If you build your personal brand, and you build a personal brand within your community, everybody is going to know you or levitate around what you're doing, and there will be people who will reach out to you. So that's my
Yeah.
first thing. That's my first thing, and then secondly, just go out there and network. Connect with people.
Network.
Obviously, um, we're in a pandemic right now, but once things start opening up, go to uh, the organizations or societies out there which are around music and the business, and go out and network, and just put those two things together.
I understand. I mean, sometimes I worry about the age factor because in this industry, I don't know. For example, maybe if you want to become an artist, people say, "Oh, you have to be younger," or maybe you just are too old for this. And in my case, for example, I feel sometimes I'm 23. I'm not like 55 or 60 something, but I sometimes feel a bit like uh, older than the average maybe person that wants to or is just starting in this business, right? So what would you say in this case? In your case, when did you start, or how old were you when you become involved in the music industry?
Around your age, around that age, maybe a little bit younger. It's around 20. So that's probably like 9, 10 years ago. Um, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, to be honest with you, is this a number? Is this what you do? There's a lot of young people who are
Mm.
are who are achieving great things. I mean, most of the people who are making uh, decisions in the music industry are older. Most of those people are in their 40s and 50s and up, because uh, those are the people who build systems and build companies, and that takes time. That takes time to build all those things. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what age you are. I mean,
Mm.
in your case, being 23, you're not that much older than, like, say, an 18-year-old who's interested in getting into the music industry. So
Mm.
it's the main thing is results. What can you do? You
Mm.
know,
Result.
you have your skills, you have your talents, you put that together. What are the
Mm.
results you can do? You know, people people respect that more so than their age. And now they might try to take advantage of your age. That's a downfall. That's a negative. There's positive and negatives to everything. But at the end of the day, just do you. Just make sure that you put yourself in a position to win. And
Mm.
people might use that against might try to use that against you. So you also want to be around or put yourself amongst people who aren't like that, and who will have your best interest. But at the end of the day, if you win, you're winning, that's the end of the story. People will have to respect that.
Yeah, I understand. I totally get it. I agree. Sometimes I feel like that. I think you rationally think, this is like this, or I'm not that old. I mean, like, if the results that you are talking about, this is what matters in this case, right? You have the drive and the motivation and everything. I sometimes, my head gets twisted, and I start to doubt myself. Like, I think, oh, but it's too late, right? It's not that I'm not that young, even though I'm not so old. It's a little bit complicated in this case. But yes, I appreciate what you said. Thank you.
Well, you're extremely young, so you're still young.
I'm still young. Sometimes I feel
But
old. I don't know.
but that's okay. Just make sure that you learn every. It's going to be a learning process. Every new project, every new person you meet, you're going to go
Mhm.
grow. You're still new to this, so just keep on going. Just keep going, keep growing, keep getting that information.
I am trying to do that. Actually, I've been like networking, meeting people like across the globe, because in Spain there is a music industry, right? The Spanish music industry, but it's not that huge compared as to the United States one, to the American one. So I'm really interested in that, and actually I would love in the future, short-term future, to work in that industry. And I've been thinking about maybe studying. I don't know if you have heard about the Musicians Institute
No, I
in
haven't.
LA.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, well, since I just finished college, I wanted just to specialize in this field, maybe study that and go to LA. I've been planning that and saving for that, and network there, and be involved. Like, do what you just said, to self-start, to take that chance and do it. Because in Spain it is not that, we don't have that many opportunities, and not many, that wide range of types of networking, or industry. Like, there have a lot of music labels and interesting things to do, but here we don't have that many things. It's not like that, and it's difficult if you want to get into that, because just a few number of people, like few, dedicate their life to that. So
I understand.
it's
I understand. I've worked in small markets before. I totally understand.
yeah, in Spain. Flamenco. Maybe some reggaeton or Latin music is what people really love here and care about, and some pop music. But yes, in the United States, it's amazing. You have just wow, various genres and different categories and things to study, just study and see. It's amazing, and I love that. And I also wanted to also ask you about, because in the future I'm dreaming about this, but I would love to maybe follow this path that you are going through right now, like creating maybe my own music label, or just creating something on my own, a company of my own. um, how are you doing right now with that, and what are your projects? How's everything?
I mean, everything's been good, good so far. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, the things were kind of slowed down in 2020 with the pandemic, but we've worked on a lot of great projects. It's a lot of my short term goals that have been accomplished. With the type of clientele that I've wanted to work with. So now it's now building upon that and then just getting my brand out more, going back
Mm-hmm.
to the content, but also getting more clients in and building that strong, sustainable team.
Mm. Yeah,
So
I the early stages, right, of the company.
yeah, we're still in startup stage. So I mean, AjaniMedia is a company that we focus on developing content creation for musicians, specific for musicians and music brands.
And you focus on the American market, right? Or and the Latin American market, I think, right?
Yes, yes, yes. I mean, we have to build our clientele more, but uh, specifically, well, since in Miami, we like want to focus on the Spanish market, on the Latin American market, because I see there's lots of opportunities there, and reggaeton is moving, and the
Mm.
demographics are changing, and there's a
Mm.
huge demographic in the United States to where it's Spanish. So um, where I want to curate, or we're curating our our business model around that, and we're in Miami. Then we're going to branch out to other things also.
I think it's really interesting, and I think it's really something to focus on, because it's true. The reggaeton music and Latin music these days, or this past, like this last, I think 2 years or maybe last year, has been increasing. Like has been getting a lot of attention. I don't know, with artists like J Balvin or like Bad Bunny, or I don't know, Rosalia, who's from here. Different, it's different. Maybe there's gonna be a mixture of genres, like between the mainstream pop with maybe flamenco or reggaeton or bachata or merengue or even cumbia, maybe in a near future. I don't know. The new Selena is gonna come out. Who knows, right? Who
Definitely,
knows?
definitely.
But that's really interesting. I thought that you were maybe focusing more on the American market. Maybe when I say American market, I'm saying maybe mainly just pop, maybe slash rock music. But it's really interesting. I didn't quite know that the American market was interested also in the Latin American music as much as in Latin America and in Spain. I didn't know. That's really, really something that I didn't know.
Well,
Amazing.
it's just demographics are pushing that in this country.
Yeah, because there are a lot of Latinos, right? There is, I understand. I'm in Miami, oh, a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah,
them.
definitely.
And I imagine that maybe in a near future, maybe I'm just saying, maybe do you need someone to work on your content, or maybe you want some perspective, international perspective, from someone who's living in a Spanish-speaking country who also knows something about the taste in Latin American music. Would you have some type of internships, or I don't know how to say this in English. I don't. Would you have some type of master class in the future for people who maybe want to work with you or contribute to your company, to your music label, or judge your brand?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I mean, all that is we're in the works. That's what we want to do. So there will be definitely opportunities to work internships, jobs, but we have to plan that, at least in the short term. We have to plan that. But all those things are coming. Yes, definitely.
That would be great. That's amazing to hear. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people will want to join you and help out and contribute to the cost to building and making this project work. I'm sure.
Right.
But yeah, I will. Yes, I think it's really interesting, and I really took note of everything that you said. It's really important for me, since I don't have any kind of like mentor or guidance. I'm like blindfolded, trying to network like everyone and like anybody else. I imagine like is starting or wants to start in this industry. But I really appreciate your help. I mean, and for me it's really interesting, and for me it's really important to do this in English, since it's a bit more challenging for me to adapt to another language. So thank you so much.
No problem, no problem. Anytime.
I maybe in a future we can do this like an interview format or something like that.
Okay, we can plan it out. I have my team. We can plan with my team, and
Mhm.
and when that time comes, we can accomplish that.
Yeah, totally, totally. I don't know if you also. I'm not that helpful. I think yet. Maybe in the future I will be more helpful when I get more skills. I get skillful, and I have more content. But if you ever need any help or in translate something in Spanish or about the Latin American content in the music industry, I mean, please, I can help you with anything.
Okay,
If you
okay, definitely. I'll see what we can do, and I'll speak to it over with my team, and we'll get back to you.
okay,